Whenever I go through my socials and I check my DM, a larger chunk of the messages I get from beginners are usually around something like, "Hey Abefe, I have actually taken this course, I've taken that course, I've watched this playlist, I've watched these videos." But yet, whenever someone gives me a data set, I don't know how to go about it, I don't know how to start, I don't know what to do. Now, if you are a beginner or probably an intermediate and you still feel that way, now this video is actually for you. As someone that has been a data analyst as a freelancer for the past 3 years, I totally understand what you're going through, and that is one of the reasons why I have decided to make this video. So in this video, I'll be taking a data set and I'll be analyzing it from the scratch. Like, I'm literally teaching you how to analyze data and also how to think like a data analyst. So I'm holding your hands and I'm walking you around the data analysis steps and techniques. So without further ado, let's get into the video properly. Now, you want to know how to think like a data analyst and you want to know how to analyze data as a data analyst, and to help you out with that, I'll be using an actual data that I collected from the popular site, which is KAGGLE. But before we start working on that data set and teaching you how to think like a data analyst, we need to understand what data analysis is in the first place. And I think this is something that practically almost everybody know, every beginner know. Data analysis is all about collecting, organizing, preparing, analyzing, visualizing data, and also trying to make a conclusion from that data set to solve real life problems. So if you're supposed to summarize all of this, it simply means the data analysis process is basically into, I think, 4 or 5 sections. The first one is to collect your data set. That is very important. Then the second one is to prepare your data set. So by preparing, it means you want to clean, you want to remove the errors, you want to just make sure that the data set rather is ready for analysis. The third step is to now analyze your data set. The fourth step is to visualize, which is still part of the analysis, and the fifth step is to make a conclusion and prescribe your solutions. Okay, and that is just it. Now, when someone gives you data set, okay, the person definitely has a problem, meaning they want to use that data set to make a conclusion to solve an actual problem. So that means there is a give and take. He gives you data, you prescribe solution. That is just the basis of data analysis. Okay, now this person that is giving you data, he has a problem in mind. He knows what he wants from his data set. So the first step in data analysis is to understand the aims and objective of whoever is giving that data set. So for every data set that you have in this world, there is always this aims and objective attached to it. There is always this problem that the person or whoever give you that data set is trying to solve. So that is the first thing you need to know. Once you know the aims and objective, it makes things easier for you. It's like that's the first step of your analysis. So after knowing the aims and objective, the next thing is to know the type of data that you are working with. Very important. Or the sector in which the data you are working with falls into. Now, it's no news that the type of data set that you have is going to determine how you are going to approach the data and the type of data analyst that you become in the long run. I've always mentioned this in my video. And for example, like I used to say rather, if I give you a finance data and you know that, okay, this is a data that has to do with finances of probably the company, of a country, or an individual, obviously, in as much as you are going to be cleaning and processing the data set, you're going to be analyzing that data set from the financial standpoint. Now, if you do this more often, you become more of a financial analyst. And if you're given like a medical or health data, obviously, whatever thing you're going to be doing will be in the context of health and medicine. Okay, the same thing applies to if I give you a business data. Okay, that means you're going to be analyzing based on business and the economy and so on. So you need to know the type of data set that is given to you. Am I working with a health data? Oh, okay, that is the health data. Oh, this is your aims and objectives. Then you have to go and do a bit of research on your own end and see how the health data is related to the aims and objective that a person gives to you. So you see that right now you've been clearing the way and making things easier for you when it comes to analyzing the data set. Now, once you know the type of data set and you know the aims and objectives, it makes it easy to ask questions. You see, data analysis is all about asking the right question, and when you ask just one right question, okay, about your data set, it will bring about a chain reaction of questions that you keep answering, and as you keep answering them, you keep analyzing more and more questions keeps coming up. So if you ask just one right question, that right question will be like, oh, then what if this is this? Oh, what if that is that? So one right question can bring about a chain reaction, a nuclear fusion of questions. So get that right. So after knowing the type of data set that you have, the next is to get into the data set and understand the variables that makes up the data set. Very important. Now, by variables, I mean the columns. Now, a data set, a panel data set, to be specific, consists of several observations, aka rows, and several columns, aka variables. So now your columns or your variables can either be numerical in nature or they can be categorical in nature. Now, the type of variable or the type of columns that you have in your data set is going to determine how you are going to approach your data set as a whole. So some variables are numerical in nature. So basically, you know that, oh, if this variable is numerical, it means I can't use a bar chart to visualize it. I'll either use an histogram to visualize the distribution, or I'll use a box plot if I want to test for outliers. Or it's a numerical data, so if I want to compare two of them together, I'll be using the scatter plots to see how the two variables, numerical variables, are actually interacting. Or I can perform a correlation analysis to see the strength of association. You see, so knowing the type of variable is going to make you know the type of analysis that you're going to be performing, because the analysis you're going to be performing as a data analyst to solve the problem is dependent on the type of variables that make up your data set. Okay, so and if your variable is qualitative in nature, they are categorical in nature, that is, they don't have a number attached to them, like gender, like your country. Now you have to know that, oh, this is a categorical variable, or if I want to summarize it, I have to use a count, or I have to group them. Then I can also use a bar chart, a pie chart to just visualize them. So that is very important. Once you do that, once you do these three things, knowing the aims and objective, or knowing the problem that the person that gave the data set have in mind, the second one is to understand the type of data set that you have at hand, and the third is to understand the variables that makes up the data sets, because each type of data set has different variables that make it up. If you open a health or medical data, obviously the variable will be different from that of the financial data. For health, for health data, you'll be seeing things like BMI, you'll be seeing height, you'll be seeing weight, you'll be seeing blood pressure, you'll be seeing blood type, you'll be seeing genotype. These are medical variables. And if you open a financial data, obviously the variables that make up such data will obviously be something like, you're going to be seeing stock price, or you're going to be seeing income, you're going to be seeing profit, those details that defines finances. You're going to be seeing ROI, the return of investment, the future value, the present value, all of those things that you can definitely attach to finance. So after understanding those three concepts, the next step is to prepare and clean your data set and make it ready for proper analysis. Okay, and whenever you get a data set from any source, the data is usually not clean, so you have to check for errors, you have to check for duplicates, you have to do some conditional formatting and perform basic data cleaning just to make sure that your data set is ready for the proper analysis. This is something that data analysts really spend a lot of their time on, but since this video is not about me teaching you how to perform data cleaning, I won't really venture into that. Maybe later video or subsequent videos, I will actually take out my time and teach you how to perform data cleaning. Okay, after your data set has been cleaned and you feel it is ready, so the next step is to perform the proper analysis. So when it comes to analyzing a data set, there are several ways, there are several techniques that we use to perform analysis on data sets. Okay, I think we have like 5 or 6 of them, but I would be mentioning the most important 3, and these 3 are the ones I will also be using in in later part of this video in Excel. Okay, we have the descriptive analysis, we have the exploratory data analysis. Now these two are quite similar, they have a whole lot in common, so it makes sense that some scholars actually assume they're the same thing, but I'll be taking them as two different things. So we have the descriptive analysis, we have the exploratory data analysis, we have the predictive analysis, and we have the prescriptive analysis. So under descriptive analysis, it means you are describing your data set, it means you are summarizing your data set. You're looking at this variable and you're trying to like say, oh, this is a numerical variable, so what is the mean, what is the median, what is the mode, so what does the mean interpret to, what is the skewness, what is the kurtosis, and all of those stuff. So that is describing and summarizing your data set. Under the same aspect, we can also use the visual measure to describe our data set. So that means if you see a numerical variable, you can be like, oh, I'm going to use histogram to plot the distribution. Oh, I want to get a box plot right here to see if I have outliers right here. Okay, and if you see that we have two numerical variables and you want to see the interaction between them, then you can also plot a scatter plot just to see how much they interact with each other. So that is just the basics of descriptive statistics. Now under exploratory data analysis, it's like descriptive statistics on steroids, because it's not only summarizes your data set, it tries to see the patterns between the variables, how the variables in the data set interact with each other to bring out the information that they have in them. So this is where you just pay a closer attention to the distribution that defines the data set. Try to see how the histogram can bring out more details for you. In fact, you can also perform tests on correlation between the numerical variables that makes up your data set. Like let's say we have like 4 or 5 numerical variables. You can perform a correlation analysis to see how these variables interact with each other, to see a pattern, to see something, to explore the data. It's called exploratory data analysis. So it means you want to explore that data set. So once you've done these two, in fact, these are the first two things that you do whenever you are given a data set. You try to describe and summarize, then you try to explore. It makes things easy for you. You also visualize in EDA. Definitely, you can also visualize that by plotting a scatter plot or all of those stuff. So after performing your EDA, that is the exploratory data analysis and the descriptive analysis, okay, it's time for you to move to the predictive modeling or the predictive analysis. And this is where you just build a regression model to predict one of the variables from the other. So whenever you predict a single variable from another single variable, we have what we call the simple linear regression. And when you predict one variable from multiple variables, then we have multiple linear regression. I have a video on this, I'll be linking it, you can check it out, okay, probably later on. And the last one is the prescriptive analysis. So this branch of analysis is going to be dependent on all the things you've done. So it's going to be taking information from predictive, from descriptive, from EDA, and using it to prescribe a solution. So under the prescriptive analysis, you are not really doing some calculations, you are only trying to prescribe solution based on the previous analysis that you've done. Okay, so based on the patterns that you've seen in your data set, and you're like, oh, you know what, let's do this, let's do that, avoid this, avoid that, and that's good to go. Now you've analyzed the data set, so the next few steps is to talk to your boss, talk to the stakeholder, write a report. So you can have a technical report that contains all the mathematical jargons, and then you can have a dashboard that is just like a beautiful and aesthetically pleasing summary of all of the things that you've said. And this is how you are actually going to be analyzing a data set as a data analyst. So it's time for us to move into Microsoft Excel and see how I would be using a business data, a popular business data from KAGGLE, to teach you all of the things I just mentioned right now, from getting a data set to understanding the type of data set that you have, to understanding the type of variables, and performing analysis and visualization. So I'll be doing all of those things in Microsoft Excel. So without further ado, let's get into Excel properly. So this is the data set that we are actually going to be using for our analysis, okay? And the first step in data analysis is to get the data. So I have the data set. It is a popular Superstore data, but it's a popular Superstore data set rather, but I will be showing you where to get it. So I got this data set from KAGGLE. I would be linking the site right here. So I've already searched for it. So when you click on this, you have the data set right here. So all you have to do is to click on download. I won't click on download because I've actually downloaded the data set. So you click on download. If you're a new user, it's going to ask you to create an account, and once you make an account, you'll be able to download the data set. So let's go back to the data set. So after getting your data set, the next step is for you to understand the type of data set that you're working with. And if we take a look at this data set, we are working on a business data. Now let's go back to KAGGLE because we're opportune to be given the context regarding the data set. It says that with growing demands and cutthroat competitions in the market, a Superstore giant is seeking your knowledge in understanding what works best for them. They would like to understand which product, regions, categories, and customer segment they should target or avoid. So in simple terms, it's trying to say that you have a business data, and the business data consists of several variables, which in this case they are the metadata. We'll come back to that. And now you're supposed to use your skill as a data analyst to let them understand the products, the regions, the categories, and the customer segments that you should target, that they should target, or they should avoid. So basically it has given you the aims and objective that you need to know. It has given you the needed context for your analysis. When I was trying to talk earlier on, I mentioned that for data analysis, you need to understand your data set, then you need to have a bit of knowledge about the aims and objective, and then you need to understand the variable that you're working with. So far so good. It's very obvious that we are working with a business data, and the aims and objective is that they want to understand which product, region, categories, and customer segments that they should target or avoid. So it's now went on to say that you can take this a step further and try and build a regression model to predict sales or profits. Now this section right here is what we'll call the predictive modeling or the predictive analysis, okay? And that is where you try to build a regression model from the data set. I have actually done this. I've built a regression model using the Superstore data set. I'll be linking that video in the top right corner so you can just check it out. So for the metadata, it's a way for us to understand the variables that we have in our data set. So we have the row ID, the order ID, the order dates, the ship date, and we will come back to Excel. We're going to be seeing all of them right here: row ID, order date, ship date, ship, and all of those stuff down to down to this place, that's you. So we have a total of 9,994 observations or rows, and we have 1, 2, 3. Let me just count this, okay? Let's see what we have here. And we have a total of 21 variables or columns. Now, after understanding the aims and objective, and you also know the type of data sets that you have, okay, now it's time for you to understand the variables that make up your data set. That is going to let you know how to approach your analysis. So let's talk about each of the variables. We have the row ID, order date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, product ID, category, subcategory, product name. Then we have sales, quantity, discounts, profits. So right here you can be able to tell that you have just 4 numerical variables in your data set. We have 4 of them, and the other 17 variables right here are categorical in nature. Like I said earlier on, there's a way you analyze a numerical data set, a numerical variable, and there is also a way you analyze a categorical variable, okay? I have a video on that. I will also be linking that. You can just check that out. Now, out of these 17 categorical variables, the one that are important to us in the context of the aims and objective of the data set is going to be the segment, Okay, the country is not needed. The city, so the segments, the city, the state, the region, the category, and the subcategory. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly. We don't need the customer name, we don't need the customer ID. At it be we want to like forecast our data set and try to predict sales, like for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Then we can use the order date and the ship date, which is going to be more or less like a time series analysis. And by the way, I've made a video summarizing the whole of time series analysis. You can also check that out. I'll be linking that video somewhere around here, so you can just check it out. So that being said, now it's time for us to go to the next thing, and that is to perform the data preparation and data cleaning. So basically, we are lucky that this data set is cleaned. Okay, and by clean I mean the variables that we need to work on, they are all clean, they are all okay, they are all worked on. Although you can take a look at the product name and you can see that there are some things right here like this one, but we don't need the product name. You understand? We don't have anything to do with the product name, and I will only touch this and clean this if I was teaching you how to perform data cleaning, but there is nothing to clean here. So the data has been well worked on and cleaned from KAGGLE, from where we got it. So we are set for the analysis, and like I said earlier on, you have to perform your analysis based on the aims and objective, and also make sure that you understand the variable that makes up your data set. All right, so let's go back to what KAGGLE said. So they said that they would like to understand which products, regions, categories, and customer segment they should avoid or target. So whenever a business wants to know which area they should target or avoid, it's always done relative to profits, sales, quantity, and discount in the context of this problem. You understand? So for a business data, the goal of a business is to maximize profit and minimize cost. Okay, so if it's going to be getting the maximum profit from a particular region, from a particular product, or from a particular category, then it's going to be focusing its attention on that. So based on product, region, categories, and customer segments, okay, those are the 4 key variables. Okay, we are going to be working on that, on those 4 key variables in relation with sales, quantity, discount, and profit. So which product is getting us the highest sales, the highest profit, the highest quantity? Okay, so we are getting a lot of sales from this, but is this sales really bringing about a profit? Questions like that will start popping up, and there is something about data analysis. Once you ask the right question, once you ask one question that is correct, it will lead to other questions that can be asked. So you just keep working. Now at this point, we have just a small sample data set, let's say like 20 rows and just 2 or 3 variables. Okay, we can just come right here and just start analyzing, but we have over 9,000 rows or observations, so it only makes sense for us to insert a pivot table. So a pivot table is just a very nice way of organizing your data sets, and it allows you to work and see the necessary patterns in your data set. Okay, it's just a way to organize your data set and make things as easy as possible for you. So I will be inserting a pivot table for this data set of ours. So I click on insert and the pivot table. So I have to select everything. So that's from row ID, Control Shift right and down. Okay, then I want the pivot table to be on a new worksheet, and I click on OK. So this is our pivot table. As you can see, this section, it has all of the variables neatly arranged, from row ID, order date, and then we have like 4 sections right here. We have the filter, we have the columns, we have the rows, and we have the values. So we'll be working with all of this as time goes by. So let's start with let's go back to KAGGLE rather. So they said they would like to understand which product, regions, categories, and customer segment that they should target. So let's try to see the product that gives us the sales, the highest profit. In simple terms, let's try to see the relationship between products and the numerical variable. So let's try to see that. So I can say category. Okay, so the product category, so that's product. I can drag that here to rows. Okay, and then the profits. So let's start with profit first. So you can see it has given us like this one way table of sum of profit based on furniture, office supplies, and technology. So these are like the products. Okay, we can get a bar chart obviously for this to visualize this. We can insert recommended charts, and you click on OK. So when we try to visualize the sum of profits, okay, we see that the technological category is having the highest sum of profits. Please note that what I'm doing right here is exploratory data analysis. I'm trying to explore the data. I'm trying to see the patterns that we have in a data set. So since I'll be doing my exploratory data analysis and also my descriptive statistics at the same time, I'll also be prescribing the solution at once. Okay, so I'll be doing descriptive, EDA, and prescriptive just at once, so that I won't be wasting time. Okay, but if you're going to be doing it on your own, you have to write it down, type it out, and write a report. Okay, but I won't be doing that. So based on the sum of profits, it simply means that the technology is bringing a whole lot of profits. Okay, let's get the average profit. Let's see what we have here. So I right click on the sum of profits. I come to the value field setting rather. I click on average, and you see based on average profit. So that is the total profit based on I think this should be based on the number of quantity of goods sold. Okay, yes, so that is the average profit in this case. So that is the total number of profit over the number of items being sold. So based on average profits, we can also see that the technological department, or the tech category rather, is bringing a lot of profit. So something is very certain: based on profits, the tech category is something that they should pay attention to, and the furniture is something that they should try to avoid. Okay, because even on the sum, let's check the sum. Okay, so we can see that even when it comes to sum of profits, the furniture is bringing a way significant less profit. So that's a category that they should avoid. So let's try to see the subcategory. Okay, so when it comes to subcategory and profits, we can see that the copiers, okay, that's the photocopy, is giving us a whole lot of sum of profits. Okay, which makes sense because copier is under the category of tech. So we can also see that phones, which is this phones, okay, is also giving us a very huge profit right here. Okay, and then we see that table is not giving us profit, it's giving us a loss. So this table right here is loss, obviously. So furniture is something that they should try to avoid. So we also have the furnishing, it's not giving us something huge. So you can notice that anything that has to do with the tech and maybe office supplies, they are bringing in some couple of profits. Let's try the average profit and let's see what we have. Okay, so you can see that when it comes to average profits, tables still bring in the loss, you understand, but the copiers still bring in a whole lot of profit. So that shows the reason why the tech category is the most profitable. So when it comes to category, the business or the company should focus on the tech category, and when it comes to the subcategory, the type of goods that they should work on, then definitely they should focus on the copiers, the accessories, the phones to actually bring up couple of stuffs. So let's go back to the category, let's remove the subcategory, and now let's see how sales is entering the picture. So let's check this to sum of profit. So let's bring in sales here. All right, so when it comes to sales, sum of profit, we can see that the technology is bringing in a whole lot of sales. You can see right there, we have a whole lot of sales from the tech, and we have quite a good number of profits from it. We also have some sales in the office supply, and we can have some profits from it. But we notice that the furniture is bringing in a whole lot of sales, right? Okay, we have a lot of sales from the furniture department, but the profit is significantly lesser compared to the office supply and the technology. So it simply means that for the furniture category or segment, people are buying, you understand, people are buying a whole lot of furniture, but the sales are not they're not translating to profits. So it's either the items are cheap but people are buying it more, or the discount on the furniture is quite high. So that is my prediction. I'm assuming that is the reason why there is a whole lot of sales from the furniture department, meaning like people are like buying it a lot, but the sales is not relating to a whole lot of profit. As you can see, this furniture sales is more than office supplies, but yet the office supply is actually bringing more way profits compared to that. So let's see the relationship between sales and discounts. Let's see. So let's take this off and let's bring in discounts. Okay, so for some weird reason I cannot see the discount, so let me just take this out. Let's take out the sales. So when it comes to discounts, okay, we can see that the sum of discounts, the office supplies, so the office supplies category rather is getting a whole lot of discounts. The technology department is getting way less discounts, but at the same time is bringing in a whole lot of profit. The furniture department is not even getting a lot of discounts, but we can see that it's still not bringing in a profit, even though it's bringing in sales. So something must be wrong here. I won't say wrong, but something is fishy down there. Let's use the average discounts. So when it comes to average discounts, okay, now when it comes to average discount, the furniture department is having way more. So that simply implies that the number of items being bought is increasing. So this is a picture. This is meaning that a lot of sales are going on because of the fact that a lot of discounts is actually going on in the furniture department, because based on the average discount, the furniture category is having a whole lot of discounts. Now you may be telling me that, oh, look at the furniture is 0.17, look at the office supply is 0.157, and look at the technology is 0.13. It's not really different. Yeah, we can test if there's a difference in the average discount based on the category, and this is where we can use a one-way ANOVA. So this is where we can introduce statistical analysis and statistical test into the picture, but I won't be doing that. That's like a whole different thing entirely. I will probably make a video on that to see the statistical analysis to approach this data from the statistic standpoint. But for now, we can see that when it comes to discounts, the furniture department is getting a whole lot of average discounts, but the tech department or the tech category is not getting a whole lot of average discounts and even some of discounts, but it is bringing in way more profits and way more sales. So right now, something is very certain. The furniture department is, or the furniture category rather, I don't know why I'm using the word department, but you can just help me out like that. So the furniture category is a category that they should try to avoid, because the customers are getting very much discounts, but at the same time the sales are going up, but the profit is not, it's not bringing in enough profit. So the category I will advise the company to go for is technology and office supply. It goes a long way. It's a very good one. So let's try to see. So we've talked about the products. Okay, we've talked about the product categories. So we've talked about the categories. Okay, so based on the categories, the office supplies and the technological department should be something, the tech category rather should be something that they should pay attention to. And based on products, I will suggest the copiers, the phones, anything that has to do with tech and office supplies. Okay, it's like those are the things that the company should focus their attention on, and anything furniture should not be, because we can come back here. Okay, so have subcategory, and we see that when it comes to discounts, okay, average discounts, the likes of the tech are not really having much discount like that. Look at phones, look at copiers, but okay, we still have machines. Machine is having some discounts, but then tables is also having a lot of discounts. So the discount is not evenly distributed, but a couple of items are getting discounts. But even if all of them are getting the same amount of discount, the furniture department, the furniture segment rather, is really not bringing in profit, or it's not bringing in profit, although it's bringing in sales, but the sales is not resulting into profit. So I'm concluding that the furniture department should be avoided for now, and they should focus on the office supply and the tech department, the tech category. Let's do the same thing for sales. Let's see sales. So when it comes to sales, we can see that obviously the phones the phone item, the copiers, obviously. Chairs, for some weird reason, chair is having a whole lot of sales, but phone has more sales than it, I guess. But these sales of chairs is not bringing in profits, like I said. As you can also see, tables also have some sales, but it's not bringing in profit. So that is being said. So let's move into the region. Let's try to work on the region. So based on the region, we can see that the eastern region and the western region are like the profitable ones. Bringing in more sales, because look at the western region, it's bringing in a sale of 725,457, and the eastern region is bringing something around 678,781. That is still fair. So how about we compare this to profits, and when we do the sum of sales and sum of profits, we can see that the eastern region is bringing in a lot of sales, and it's also bringing in profits, and the profits is more for the western region. Okay, you can see that the western region is bringing in more profits and way more sales. So it's between the western region and the eastern region. In fact, it feels like the western region is more profitable compared to the eastern region. Okay, so when you analyze this data set on your own, you'll still be able to ask a lot of questions and this and that. Okay, now the central region is not bad. The central region is kind of competing with the southern region. Now the central region is bringing in more sales compared to the southern region, but it's bringing in, I won't say a significantly less profit compared to the southern region. But I think the region that the company should focus attention more on should be the eastern and the western. And if they are supposed to avoid any, I won't suggest they avoid any. I will still tell them to focus on 4 of them, but they should just pay attention more on the western and the eastern region. Okay, let's see what discounts those guys get. So let's remove the profit and get the discount. All right, let's take the sales out. So when it comes to discounts, the central region is getting a whole lot of discounts. In fact, let's get the average discounts. Okay, now the average discount is, we can see that after going by average discounts, the central region is getting a whole lot of discounts. Okay, so the central region is getting discounts, but it's driving up the sales, but it's not bringing in the profit. The western region is not getting much discount, but even though it's getting less discount, it is obviously still driving up the sales. Okay, so the same thing applies to the eastern region. They don't get much discount, but when they get that discount, it drives up the sales and increase the profit. So the western region and the eastern region are the regions that the company should focus on. Yeah, that's it. Let's do this based on category. Let's see, excuse me, category. Yeah, okay, category. All right, then we have the region. We can bring the region right here. Then let's say let's start with profits. Okay, all right, so right here we want to see how the profits exactly is distributed or is working across each category. Now we can see that in the furniture department, the central region is running at a loss. We can see, it's just so obvious, the furniture region is running at a loss. The eastern region in the furniture department it's not even bringing in. So when it comes to the furniture department, all the regions are not really booming. They're not bringing in sales, they're not bringing in the profits that we want. Okay, but when it comes to tech, we can see that the eastern region and the western region are bringing in more profits. Okay, they are bringing in more profits. The same thing applies to the office supplies. The eastern region rather, and the western region are bringing in more profits and sales. Okay, so this is for profits. Let's see sales. Let's see what we have for sales. All right, so for sales, we can see that now when it comes to sales, the tech department is still bringing up the sales, obviously, and the eastern region has higher sales. The western region is going next to it in the tech department, in the tech category. And for the office supply, we can see that the western region is doing fine, and even at the furniture category rather, we can see that the eastern and the western region are doing fine. So when it comes to sales, the eastern and western region are the region that the company should focus on, and maybe sideline the central region. So let's see discounts. Let's see what we have. So when it comes to discounts, okay, now the central region is getting the highest discounts. The central region is getting the highest discounts, yet it's not giving us the highest profit or the highest sales. Look at it. At office supplies, when it comes to office supplies, the central region is having the highest sum of discount. Let's use average discount. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so when it comes to average discount, we can see that the central region has the highest average discounts compared to all other regions. So the central region is getting all of the discounts, all of the goodies, yet it's not racking up the sales and profits. So obviously that is a region that they should like not pay much attention to. But you see the eastern region and the western region, that is a region that they can actually pay attention to. So let's see what the sales bring up for us. Okay, I think we've worked on the sales. So based on the sales, I think both the western region and the eastern region are actually good. So let's look at the quantity of items being sold. Okay, so when it comes to quantity, you will notice that the quantity of items being sold in the technology category across the regions is very low. So if you compare the quantity sold right here for central, east, south and west, compare it to office supply and furniture, you see that it's quite low. That's because the tech department, people are not buying much, but when they buy, it means the goods are expensive and it drives up the profit margin. Okay, the office supply, it's not bad, people are buying and it's also bringing in some couple of huge profit margin, maybe not as much as the tech, but the furniture region is having some quantity right here, less quantity rather, in fact less quantity and less sales and less profit. So the furniture region, once again, is that's the furniture category rather is that category that they should just avoid, because it's bringing in less quantity of sales, it's bringing in more discounts but less profits and less sales. So it's something that they should sort of like avoid. So that's about that, I guess. I think by cities, then we can do the city obviously, or the states. So let's take this out. So when it comes to states and we click on profits, so let's click this away. So when it comes to sales, the total sum of profits is New York. So New York is like the profitable state right here. It means the states that brings in a lot of profit. New York and California. All right, yeah, California and New York. Now Colorado is bringing in loss, and I can tell you probably Colorado is in the central region. I'm not from America, so I really don't know the regions of each of those states. Okay, so let's try to check where New York and California is. Let's see. So let's come here. Is New York okay west, or we can see that? So New York is both the largest city and the largest metropolitan area on the east coast. So that means I think New York is around the east, is located in the east, I guess. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm assuming New York is in the east. So how about California? I'll assume California is in the west. Okay, so California is in the west. So California is a state in the western region of the United States. So now if you know what the world is talking about, you can know that these two states are actually one of the top states in the USA. So the fact that New York is in the east and California is in the west, it explains why we have a lot of tech sales from the eastern and western region, and the same applies to office supplies, because New York is going to be housing a whole lot of offices, like some of the top offices in the world, the top how will I say this? The top industry, the top companies in the world are actually in New York. So obviously, it makes sense that tech sales are actually going to be going right off the roof for New York. So let's look at sales too. So when it comes to sales, California is driving up all of the sales exactly right here, and New York is also having like the second highest sales. So it makes sense that California and New York, are driving up the sales and profit, because these two states are Western and Eastern respectively. So these are the states that the company can focus and pay attention to. So we can also do based on discounts. Okay, let's see. So when it comes to discount, we can see that the discounts that California gets, the sum of discount. Okay, let's use the average discount. Okay, let's use the average discounts. I think that makes sense. All right. So when it comes to average discount, we can see that California is having a discount of 0.072 and New York is having a discount of like, let's say, 0.005. These are the less discounts compared to Florida that has 0.299 and Illinois, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, that has this is 0.39. So the Western and the Eastern region are having way significant less discounts, average discounts, but all other regions, I'm sure, probably the Central or the what was the other region again? Let's see, let me check that. So and South rather. Okay, yeah, South. Okay, this is city. Okay, states, yeah. So you can see that. So the Eastern region, the Western region, the New York, California. So any state that houses the Eastern and Western region, or any state that is within the Eastern and Western region, should be something that you should pay attention to. So let's work on the segment. Okay, now segment. So first and first, the segment that brings in the, okay, let's talk profits and sales. So let's bring in sales and some of sales and some of profit. So when it comes to segments, we can see that the consumer segment has the highest sales and it has, I think, the highest profits also. Then next to the corporate, and then next to next to this. Okay, why is this here? All right, so okay, let's take this here. All right, so that's that. You see that? So we can also try to see the region that has the highest sales based on segments. So let me see the region. If we bring this here, all right, so I think this is something we can work with. All right. All right, so let me try to like remove the profits. Oh, excuse me. All right, so let's interpret this. So when it comes to region, we can see that the Eastern region is driving up the okay, let's probably remove the sum of sales. All right, so let's do this like this. Okay, let's start with this. All right, so when it comes to the segment and sum of profits, okay, so we can see that the consumer region is bringing in the consumer. In the consumer segment, we have the highest profits from West, and the second to the highest profit is the East, the Eastern region. If you come to the corporate, you can see that the highest profits is West, and the second is Eastern region. The same thing applies here, East and West. So when it comes to profit the profits based on segments and region, the Eastern and Western region are just like the best place to focus their attention on. But let's take away the region here and let's see. So when it comes to profits, the consumer region is the best. Let's see sales. Okay, I think we've done this. So we've actually done this, and that's just it. Now let's see discount. Okay, all right, so let's see discount. So when it comes to discounts, the consumer region is also having a whole lot of discounts attached to it. Let's see the average discounts, and we can see that well, not bad. the consumer region is getting more average discounts compared to the corporate, but it's getting more discounts, it's bringing in more sales, it's bringing in more profit, so it makes sense. So in summary, going back to the question, the product that you should pay attention to should be the phones, the copiers, the machine. The region should definitely be the eastern and the western region. The categories is obviously going to be the technology category, and the customer segment is going to be the what region is that, what segment is that rather? So that's the consumer, then the corporate. So this is how you do the basic analysis. Okay, I hope you've learned something new, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something new from this video and you really enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Do you feel I missed something or you have some questions for me? Please don't hesitate to go down to the comment section and drop your questions or your comments. I will be willing and be ready to attend to all of them. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. So if you need a statistics playlist that is going to assist you in getting better at data analysis, I have a playlist right here that I will be dropping. You can just check that out. And if you need some pro tips that can help you become a very good data analyst as a beginner, I also have a video right here that I will be linking for you. You can check that out. We'll see you in the next one, and bye for now.